So I thought for this second episode of Roadtrip Ramblings, I would bring a guest. You might recognize him if you've seen other videos in my channel, but here's Frank. He is somebody I met from doing all the photography and videography at Six Flags and at Dorney, and I don't think I've seen you, but you have worked in other parks, right?
Yep. I've worked at Dorney the most. I did Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I did Carowinds.
Oh wow! I didn't realize you've been to that many parks.
Yeah, but I did Carowinds, Six Flags Great Adventure, and then Rye Playland.
Good old Rye Playland.
Good old Rye Playland. That place
is the worst to park at, man.
Yeah, I know. It's technically my home park because I live like 15 minutes from it.
Oh yeah.
But it's cute. It's rinky dink.
It does have a lot of charm. Oh, there's a cop.
There's a
cop.
cop.
Slow down. No, by the way, we saw this poor bus. Its tire was shredded.
Absolutely.
It was just sitting in one of the lanes, and then the bus was just off the road. It was crazy.
Yeah.
You see all types of things there, especially in this area. There's a lot of crazy stuff. But sorry about the smell in here. This is where I do most of my farting.
It's okay.
Yeah. Have you ever had any like crazy road trips while you're doing all that stuff? Or you usually have like housing? You don't have to have a commute.
True, but I am the type of person that like I want my car while I'm at all these places.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm from New York, but I drove from New York to Charlotte and had my car down there.
Just so you could have your car?
Just so I could have my car down there. And so I could drive everywhere and not have to Uber everywhere or rely on other people to carpool.
True, that must be a hassle because you feel kind of trapped basically.
Exactly. And like I love to explore and just go to random places. So like while I was in Charlotte, I would go like, so I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I know I live in suburban New York and I love NASCAR.
Yeah, I don't know how that works,
Yeah,
but I saw you went to the track in Delaware and just were living your best life.
Loved it.
I mean, I was happy for you. I never got into NASCAR though.
It's fun for me. Moving billboards, going around in circles, it's fun.
It seems very scary to be in the direct sun for that long though.
My scalp got burned, actually.
Dude.
Nowhere else got burned, but my scalp did. So that was the fun experience in the shower when I felt that. But like when I was living in Charlotte, that's NASCAR capital. So like I went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, all the race shops there, like on our days off or before I had to go into work, and only had to pay for gas instead of a $45 Uber ride, So yeah, it was nice just having all that.
Yeah, accessible to you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's really cool. I mean, you get to experience whatever region you're in a little more fully because you're there for however long, like a month or
Exactly.
something.
Yep. And same thing, like while I was at Dorney, like, that's an hour 45 from where I live.
Which, speaking of, we're going to Dorney right now. So, like,
yes,
we're going to go check out the pass holder preview. You haven't been on Iron Menace yet.
Nope.
So, and Steel Force got those. I'm really looking forward to your reaction to Steel Force.
Yeah.
Literally, the airtime was so stupid, I was just standing. It was so stupid. It was like being on riding how they ride the worms in Dune. I was just like,
oh my gosh. Oh, that's awesome.
That's how I felt.
Oh, I can't wait. That's going to be great. Yeah, like while I was at Dorney, it was the same thing. So like having my car there was awesome because we were an hour from Hershey, so I could go to Hershey, and as a Dorney employee, you get in free at Hershey.
Oh, do you? That's awesome. I forget that there's also perks.
Yeah, so it's like I guess like the Pennsylvania parks have like an alliance or something. I don't know. But
so could you go to Knoebels and get like a
we got like a free
too?
ride wristband. We got like we got a free ticket to go into the haunted house. That's usually an upcharge.
Yeah, usually it's like $5.
Yeah,
or
we got a free
maybe
ticket.
$3.50. Either way, it's not free. It's not included.
We got that. Yeah, it was great. Same thing with Kennywood. Get him for free there.
Have you been there?
I have not yet.
Oh, dude. Well, this year isn't the year because of Steel Curtain.
Yeah.
They said flat out, sorry, it's not open this season.
I saw that.
I think that makes them 3 for 5 for operating years.
It's crazy.
I know. I could make an entire video just about how like doomed that whole thing has been.
I'm trying to figure out how problematic. Like think about it. After it passes the chain lift, it's just gravity taking on the rest. So what's wrong? You got
me, man. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's like really into the engineering of things, that's put something out.
But it blows my mind.
There's a lot of cops out today. What the heck?
Yeah, just their speed detail. I don't know. Maybe
somebody celebrating May the 4th too hard.
Yeah. So Dorney was great because I was also close to home, so I could go back to New York whenever I wanted. And then a lot of my castmates, they had never been to New York because a lot of them are from out of state. So I would be able to see them be a complete tourist.
Tour guide Frank.
Exactly. So that always brought a nice little smile to my face seeing that. Yeah.
So what's it like? Usually you get housed there, right? At these parks?
Yeah. So you get housing.
So you get bunked with like random strangers right away.
Pretty much
like college vibes.
Yep. Very much like a college dorm. I would say 90% of the time it's free. At Busch Gardens, I did have to pay for housing.
What?
Yeah. It was like $7 a day or like $10 a day. And
why? That's like such an insignificant amount.
I know. Cedar Point does the same. Cedar Point charges more, actually. I think they charge like 15 a day.
For housing?
For housing. So the thing is, like, you get there and sometimes you get your own room, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're with one person, sometimes you're with 3 people.
Yeah.
You know, or 2. And you hope to God you're friends with all of them. Now, thankfully, I have not had like a bad roommate experience in my entire time, like working in theme parks. I've only had good roommate experiences. Like, I'm friends with all of my roommates. Like, one of my roommates from Busch Gardens just asked me to be a groomsman at his wedding.
Oh shit! Cool.
So like it's great. You build these long-lasting friendships, and like that's the perfect place to to start it. The big thing with this industry is just like be a good person. Like
don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Your personality is going to get you a lot farther than your talent.
Exactly.
Like
that's huge. I think anywhere people will like you could be the most talented person on earth in whatever field you're in, but if you're a dick, nobody's going to want to work with you. No one's going to want to hire you.
Exactly.
Like some people will make the allowance of like, okay, you're not, in the 0.001% of talent. But you're easy to work with. You're kind, and you're respectful or whatever, and you're likely to get hired. Yeah.
So like I got that quote told to me by a Broadway drummer who I admire a lot. His name is Clint DeGannon. He wrote the drum parts for the musical Footloose and Hairspray.
Very cool.
That dude is awesome. So I went to a clinic and he gave a whole presentation and said that quote, and it really resonated with me because I don't think I'm the best drummer on the planet. I don't strive to be the best drummer on the planet, okay? Because that just puts an unnecessary ego on my shoulders that I don't need. There's always going to be someone better than me. Of course, I want to be like a great player, and I always want to learn new things. But like being the best player on the planet and knowing all these things doesn't mean you'll get gigs. You'll also just have to be a good person. So like, I make friends with so many people on these contracts. Just like, I just try to make friends with everyone so that, that also leads to more gigs. But also, I just like having friends because I'm lonely and very, like, I always think I'm socially awkward. So, like, having more friends kind of reassures me that I'm not. But yeah, it's good. It goes a long way to just be a good person in this industry and not, like, come in with an ego and think you're better than everyone. For example, I won't name names, but if this person ends up watching it, it'll be funny.
I mean, I think all of like 50 people that watch this.
Still, my first contract at Dorney Park, it was for Grand Carnival 2021, and I was in the Pulse of Carnival drum line, which is the Jester drumline show. It was my first theme park contract ever, and I was fresh out of college. And I had never been on a drumline in my life. Not in high school, not in college. I was in the drumline club, but like, and I was president of it. But like, we did not like we were not treated like, an actual
Like,
drum line.
yeah.
It was just guys and girls playing drums.
Wait, what about in high school?
High school, my high school where I went to, we didn't have a marching band. We didn't have
okay.
We didn't have a football team.
Dang.
Like, my graduating class was 65. 65 people.
Damn.
I knew everyone on
So
a first and last name basis and where they lived.
Not to slow you down, but so I actually did marching band for a year.
Yeah.
Because I was like bored with sports.
Sure.
And so they gave me the biggest bass drum that there is.
Nice.
I think that was 42 inches.
Sure.
I carried that around for a season. I had like welts on my shoulders.
That'll do it.
I wish I could have played snare drum though.
So I get to Dorney and I see I'm on this drum line and I tell our boss, I'm like, hey man, I've never played, like marching snare really like that. And he's like, it's okay, you'll learn. So I learned and I had to learn a whole new grip for the drums. Traditional grip. I had to really learn that. Then they wanted us to do these stick tricks, which were insane. So yeah, that was nuts trying to learn that. And I was surrounded by people that have done marching stuff before.
Yeah. People get really hardcore into it, like that.
So hardcore.
Who was that sousaphone guy that just went on tour?
Oh, Fareed.
Yeah,
Fareed's awesome. He was on tour with Drake and J. Cole.
I was like
nuts.
And here he was. I met him at Great Adventure of all places.
Those people that were in Drumline Live, they all went to HBCUs, which are historically black college universities, and their drum lines don't mess around. They are the cream of the crop, just like the most amazing drummers. And I've met so many of them doing theme park work. And I would say most of them are the sweetest people on earth. I've encountered some that are not. And they will remain nameless, but you know who you are if you're watching.
I feel like also, if you're a dick, word gets around that you're a dick.
100%.
And it's like a soft blacklisting.
100%. So yeah, I get to this, to Dorney for this gig, and I have this one person who was on the drum line with me that was an angel, just fantastic human, love him, Jose. Okay.
Yeah, Jose, who just did what was that show he was just on tour with?
He was on Drumline Live.
Oh, he
was on Drumline Live.
And he got his own solo, right?
Yeah, dude. He was a star in that show. He had a lot of solo moments.
Yeah, Jose, I remember nobody could flip a knife like him during Fright Fest at Great Adventure. Yep. He was so calm about it. It's like, jeez.
And he is one of the very most down to earth guys and just so chill and relaxed about everything. And I admire that about him.
Yeah.
That's his whole just mantra in life, just relax. But I told him, I was like, listen man, I've never done marching in my life really, I need help. And he was like, no problem. And he literally took me under his wing and he would come to my dorm after rehearsals and work on stuff with me just so that I didn't feel like an idiot. And,
that's awesome.
And Jose, I love you if you're watching this. Yeah, I owe you a lot. But then...
You really overestimate how many people watch my videos. And we just entered Pennsylvania. Awesome. So please continue.
Yeah, so there was another person on that contract who was not very nice to me. And they decided that this gig was the make it or break it type of gig for them, I guess, because they were critiquing me on every little thing, my technique, my form, my stick heights, just everything. And I'm
treating it like it's a Super Bowl or something.
Exactly. And I'm like, homie, here's the issue with everything. He would be like, your stick heights are at a 9, they need to be at a 3. And I'm like, dude, first off,
real constructive.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, first off, I've never marched before in my life. You have to cut me some slack, okay? 2, we are dressed as jesters right now. We are dressed as jesters at Dorney Park and Wild Water Kingdom. The wackier this shit looks, the better, okay? Yeah. So please, put your ego to the side. 3, we are temporary entertainment. That was one of the first things that I understood when I got here.
Yeah.
People are going to watch us. They're going to be like, wow, drums, that's so cool. anyway, you know, and they're gonna go on a roller coaster after and forget about us and forget that we even existed. So like, just get that through your head. Put your pride aside. I understand you want to be, you know, like you want to show off your skills and, you know, show that you're a good drummer. You can do that, okay? You have to cut me some slack though. Like, I'm trying my fucking best out here. But like, I can't guarantee that I'm gonna be your level, you know? Not everyone is the same level as you, and you have to accept that. So, and that person...
Was that his first contract or something?
It was his first contract too.
Oh no, and he came in with an ego.
Yeah, huge ego.
Oh,
and
that is not what you want to be doing.
And not a lot of people liked him. Not a lot of people liked him at all because of his ego.
Yeah.
So that wasn't fun. He did get another contract that I know of, working at Cedar Point in Pep Rally. But he was just...
Was he on set?
No, he was on... Nope, he was on Snare Drum. He was on Snare Drum.
Not last year, though, right?
Was it last year?
Because that's the one I shot for Windish.
It might have been last year. It might have been last year.
If he was on the kit and then he came out on the snare.
No, because he was at Kings Island last year.
Oh, okay.
He was in Pep Rally the year prior.
Got it.
Yeah. So, yeah, he did not make a lot of friends at Cedar Point either. I have friends there that were like, "Oh, that guy? Yeah, no, not a good person." So,
wow.
Yeah, and like word gets around, and like I've had a certain person who's very high up in the theme park entertainment world. A lot of my friends that end up watching this know who this person is. Ask me like, "Oh, should I hire this person? What's your experience like working with them?" And I'm like, "No, don't. They're a terrible person. Okay? And here's XYZ reason why."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Okay, thanks."
Yeah, being labeled difficult to work with. Say, yeah, that's a death wish.
Yep. It's very easy to be labeled easy to work with. Just read your contract thoroughly and then do what you're told.
Yep.
That's the other.
Don't cause problems. Don't create drama.
That's right. That's the other thing. You know, we had a meme when I worked at Dorney during summer 2022 for Carnival when I was in Royal Rhythms, and it was read your contract thoroughly. We would always say that because we had two people in our cast that did not read their contract thoroughly and got pissed at upper management when they would tell them to do something, and they're like, "Well, I'm only contracted to be a musician and play my instrument." It's like, actually, no, you're not. You are, yes, you're contracted for that, but they can also make you do miscellaneous tasks. Here it is, right in the contract. So, yeah.
What was the other meme that came up when you cut your finger on the
on the slapstick?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What was that meme?
It was something about first aid, but
anytime something happens where, like, let's say you stumble or like you like miss a step on the stairs and like, you know,
so innocuous things.
Yes, completely innocuous things. Your stage manager will automatically run up to you and be like, "Do you need first aid?" in the most panicked tone ever, because they have to offer it to you.
Yeah.
So like any time that happens, it doesn't matter how severe or unsevere the situation is, they have to offer you first aid.
Got it.
And it's hilarious.
It's so much so that it became a meme.
Yes.
I can just imagine that. Like, you have to be careful of what you do around them.
Yep. Like I think during Illumina Nightmares one year, I tripped going up the stairs to like the platform.
Yeah.
And this was before the show started, and our stage manager runs over and she's like, "Do you need first aid?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. Let's do the show. Start the show. We're already late."
That's actually how I found you.
Yeah.
Illumina Nightmares,
Illumina Nightmares.
2022?
2021.
Or 2021.
2021. That was my second theme park contract.
Yeah, 2021 on Reddit, I think.
Yep.
I shared some photos or something.
Yep. And that was by far my favorite contract I've ever done. Because that group of guys are still some of my closest friends to this day.
Yeah.
And like, that show was phenomenal because we improvised it every day. Every show was a complete improvisation over the track.
For sure.
So like our boss left us up to our own
A
devices.
lot of trust.
Yeah, he was just like, it's a blank canvas, go. And I love
And then they added sexiness the following year.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how I feel about that.
Listen, that's for whatever reason, when it comes to spooky season, the entertainment producers think that sexy equals Halloween.
Yep.
I don't understand it. They did the same thing last year.
We had a running meme during this past haunt because the Lumen Nightmares got canned for the other show, Conjure the Night.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of flack for it, but I was like, bring back Lumen Nightmares, not the horny version. So yeah, I just thought it was funny. Other people didn't, but I don't care. But still, Lumen Nightmares was the best contract ever because it was just drummers goofing around on stage, having fun. So I miss that show dearly. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
It was an expensive show, though.
It was very expensive.
That was like $100,000 show for that season.
We used 200 pounds of propane a night. It was expensive.
That's insane.
Yeah, our pyro guy was awesome though. I miss him.
That's the thing is like when you get into like the lighting and the pyro and all that stuff, it gets real expensive real quick. I wonder during Halloween season just how much propane is used. Because I remember
at the park in general?
just at parks in general, during that season, there's probably a huge spike, even more so than like, camping season and stuff.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Because I remember when I was out at HHN in Hollywood, they have a fire arch they couldn't use because there were propane shortages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. The same exact thing happened with Dark Nights at Hershey Park.
Really?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, propane is in hot demand. You have to like pre-book it.
Yeah.
In order to have enough stock to last you the season. And it's, if you're going through, what was it, 200 pounds?
200 pounds a night.
A night, and that's over like 3-4 shows.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Our pyro guy went to town on the pyro for our show.
Hey, it led to some pretty good photos.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
I loved that about it.
Yep.
A lot of these shows don't have interesting lighting, or for some reason the stages themselves, not that this has anything to do with you, but the stages will have like awkward positioning in relation to the sun.
Yep.
And like, oh cool, everybody's backlit.
Yeah.
Like why even put the show here? Because like the guests are looking at the sun and the performers.
Yep.
And it makes for terrible photos and videos.
Yep.
I've always wondered about like the King's Dominion stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a weird setup. I get the location, but the setup is strange.
Yes, I agree. They also put in these like video screens down there.
Yeah, which at night looks awesome.
Yeah.
During the day, can't see Dookie.
Exactly, yeah. Not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, like during Haunt, their character Queen Majesty, like as she was coming out, had like this WrestleMania vibe because she was all over the screens and stuff.
Yep.
And like sinister music. She had entrance music, and I really liked it.
It's pretty sick.
I really liked it.
Oh man, no, that's kind of awesome. I do like how like each park has their own like haunt lore in a sense. It's interesting because like each one's different in a sense.
Well, from what I recall, there's another, I think Carowinds might use Queen Majesty as well.
Yes, I think you're right.
And then I don't know if anybody's using Hecate/Overlord like Dorney does.
I think Dorney's the only one. I don't know what like Kings Island does or like any of those other Cedar Fair parks.
No, because I know Cedar Point, do they go all in? Because they don't have haunt, they have Halloween weekends.
Yeah, and they don't really do like a opening ceremony type of thing, but like their guy is almost like an Edward Scissorhands type of dude. Like he just has,
but they have their own type of icon.
Yeah, he's interesting. I got to see it this past year because I had a few friends playing at Cedar Point. But yeah, it was interesting seeing that. But I will say Cedar Point's variety of shows, 10 out of 10. They got some cool stuff.
Yeah.
They have the budget.
Do they now? Because I feel like they've had less and less budget over the years.
They had the budget, at least for this past year. Because they had like probably close to like 25 live musicians, maybe like 20. And Dorney had 0 this year, you know? So it's like certain parks get favored more, in my opinion. And as a musician, it sucks because I hate it. I hate it like when I see my friends losing jobs. I hate it when I see any entertainment person losing the opportunity for a job.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I have friends that are singers and dancers and they have jobs. Great, I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I'm biased and I'm upset that musicians aren't getting jobs too.
Well, not just that. The addition of live musicians carries a way different energy to a show.
Oh, 100%.
It adds something very special versus recordings.
Yeah. Like when I saw Retrospect at Dorney last year, okay, you had 5 musicians. You had 2 guitarists, a bass player, a keyboard player, and a drummer.
Right.
You had your rhythm section. Awesome. Those guys were slamming, they were killing, amazing musicians. But that show would have been so much better with live horns. But they don't want to pay them because they're like, oh, we can just put on MIDI and, you know, it's good. But
yeah, but I don't know. You went to Haunt and saw the... Wait, no. Did you see the King's Dominion version of at Carnival of that show?
Oh, where they had no musicians at all? Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
Completely different dynamic.
Oh, completely different. It was like, it just felt empty.
Yeah.
You know?
Compare that to, why is there so many tires just on, look.
I know.
There's still, what happened?
Crazy.
There's still so many tires on the side of the road.
That's nuts.
And they're still going.
Yeah,
Look.
I know.
Bizarre. Okay, so sorry, this was your traffic update. But yeah, the difference in energy going from like Royal Rhythms from Grand Carnival with a full band, including horns, and then to kind of downgrade to nothing, to just pure recording, it's wild.
Yeah.
And it makes such a difference. I don't know if guests really notice, like, or not like consciously are aware of it, right? It's like a lot of things are happening subconsciously of like, I don't like it and I don't know why, or this feels different and I don't know why.
From what I heard, through insider resources, is that guests did notice, and they complained that there weren't more live musicians during Haunt, during Carnival at KD, you know.
Yeah.
Like they definitely noticed.
Yeah.
Okay. So like
that's good to hear, honestly.
Yeah. Now the thing is,
but will they do anything about it?
Exactly. They have to let Cedar Fair know. You know, they have to tell Cedar Fair, like, hey, why aren't there musicians? Why aren't there musicians during Haunt? Why are there less musicians than the summer? Okay, like, tell us, be transparent, or just hire them back. You know, I get you're trying to cut costs, but I don't know. I feel like you're sacrificing quality.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
It's a detriment to guest experience.
Yeah.
Less shows, less things for people to do.
Yep.
They did that with Winterfest last year at KD. They got rid of the parade.
That's right.
Entirely.
Yep.
And then Grand Carnival is that. Well, that's no more at Dorney.
Grand Carnival is no more.
So, like, even this year, you can see the retraction, although I don't know how much of that is influenced by the impending merger with Six Flags.
I don't think it's influenced by that. I think Carnival had a contract.
Oh, like an expiration date?
Yeah, basically last year was like the last year.
Man, and last year they
scaled it back
even more.
I know.
Drop my phone. We're almost there.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're almost at Dorney. You ready?
I'm
as a newly minted pass holder
Yeah.
for the 2024 season.
Yep.
We're gonna do Iron Menace. We're gonna do Steel Force. We'll probably make a vlog, get some live reactions.
Yeah.
Frank. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Frank, for riding with me and enjoying my farts. And I will see you guys next time.
Yep.
I hope you go make your own adventure.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's
Look
cool.
at it dive. How
right.
exciting.
There we go. I got it.
I got it. I'm already here. What sucks is some of the best views of Iron Menace are outside the park.
Yeah, that's
like
that's a fantastic view. Oh my god.
Yeah, but
they got lighting in the station like that? That's cool.
nowhere else though. There's no like lighting package or anything.
Still, that's cool.
Here we are. We made ride it. I don't know what's all open, but we're gonna ride it all.
I'm not a possessed guy.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Shit hurt. Every time I went on it, I come off with the most massive headache.
Oh. Oh, shit.